Hello guys, welcome back. So in the previous lecture we have seen how we can create a class, how we can create an instance of a class. Okay, so in this lecture let's quickly see some instance methods. So first of all, what are the instance methods? Okay, so you guys might have used it already, you guys have used it multiple times, but you are simply not aware of it. Okay, so you guys have used arrays, you guys have used objects. In arrays you have used push, pop, everything, right? So let me show you as a small example of it. Okay, what are instance methods? Then we will see an example in our class which we have built in the previous lecture. I think it's zoomed up, right? So let's say let data equals to empty array. Okay, uh, fine. So if I use data dot push, so where do you think this push is coming from? Here in the data, I have just defined an array, right? I have just defined an array. I have never wrote any push method, any pop method. Then how I got this push method? That means this is an instance of array, right? So that array might have all the push, pop, like reduce, sort, everything related to the array, right? All those methods. So this particular variable, this particular thing is just an instance which is inheriting, or we can say accessing the methods which we have defined, not we, which are already defined in the array prototype, right? In the array blueprint. From there only we are accessing these methods. Okay. So let's say I want to add 3. So what will happen now? In data, it will get pushed. That means that push method is adding this 3 in the instance which we have created from the array blueprint. Okay, so this is an instance which we have created. Remember from the previous lecture, I think here I've shown you like how we create the arrays. Okay, so what happens is we define a blueprint, a method here in the blueprint. Let's say, let's create a function, or in object we don't need any function name. Let's create get full name. Okay, so what it will return? Let's return something called hi, your name is, and let's add these two, this dot full name, right? Okay, so it's simple as that. Now I have added a method in the blueprint, right? I have not added directly in this one or this one or this one. Okay, and this is how the prototypal inheritance works in the JavaScript. Okay, so I have added a method in the blueprint. Now whichever instance I am creating here, okay, they are all able to access this full name, and this full name will act as it is independent method, or it is that particular instance individual method, right? So let me show you. For P1, this thing will return me Raunak Srivastava. For P2, it will return me Raj Srinivasana. For P3, it will return me Joy. Okay, so it will act as it is their own method, right? So let's say person, right? P1 dot, so now if you see we have person which have what's it, Raunak Srivastava and age. Okay, now if I access dot get full name, I am able to get this get full name method. Since I have defined it in the parent class, or we can say the blueprint, okay, I am able to access it because of something called inheritance. These instances are simply accessing the methods, properties, everything from their parent. Take it this way: your parent have purchased a car. Okay, the car, end of the day, the car came into your house only, right? So you will go outside, you will flex like we got a car, I have a car. Okay, you will not say like my parent have purchased this car, this is not my car. Since you have access to that car, you will tell everyone like we have a car. Okay, my house got a car, right? So it's the same thing. Any function which we declare in the what to say, in the parent or blueprint, okay, parent class or blueprint, we can simply access in all the instances which we create from that particular class. Okay, and that is what we call instance methods. Okay, so as you can see, after using the get full name, I'm getting hi, your full name is Raunak Srivastava. If I use P2, okay, I'm getting hi, your full name is Raj Srinivasana. Okay, for P3 quickly, your full name is Joy. Okay, so it is acting like it is its own method, right? But behind the scenes, this method is defined in the parent of these particular variables, these instances we can say. Okay, so these instances are simply accessing those methods so that they can return their respective value. That's it. It's nothing more than that, right? So this is what we call instance methods. Okay, now if I show you in terms of like built-in data structures, so I think created something here. So let's create one more. Let data equals to empty array. Okay, data dot push. Now I think you guys will be clear like where this push is coming from, right? So if I push anything in this 23, so it will not add in the function constructor, it will not add in the prototype, it will add in the instance only, right? That is how we get data 23 inserted in that data, right? Now if you expand this, okay, you can see we don't have anything, we just have the values in it. Okay, but we have something called prototype here. The prototype, that means the parent of this instance is array. Okay, and if you expand it, you will see all the methods are coming from its parent only. Okay, since in JavaScript it is a well-known thing, like array is also an object. Okay, so array also have a parent. If you go down and if you see here, let me quickly expand it. Okay, so array has a prototype that is object. That means end of the day, array is also an object, right? So here if you expand it, you can see all the methods and properties which you can use in an object. Is prototype of local string in constructor, assign, create, freeze, entries, entries, has own, group by. These are all properties of objects, right? So these properties we can inherit, we can access in the arrays, and these properties, these methods, sorry, these methods whichever we have implemented in the arrays, we can access in the child of the array. So end of the day, we can access all the methods and properties which are available in the parent, or we can say in the prototype of the data of this particular instance. Okay, so this is how like we create the instance method, and this is what high level overview like an instance method is all about. Okay, so yeah, now let's create one more instance method quickly. So let's say I want to pass what to say, full name, age, right? So let's say what we can do here, full name we are getting age. Okay, so let's set the gender. Okay, set gender, and here we have to pass. Okay, so I'm creating this so you guys will be clear, like we can pass the parameters also in it, just like console, log, array, everything. Okay, so it's nothing complicated, you just have to create the methods in the blueprint and then you can simply access them in the instance methods, just like it is their own methods. It's simple as that, it is nothing complicated. People have made it complicated, I don't know why, right? So here let's say I want to set the gender. Okay, so for that what I have to do, I simply have to write one more, this dot gender equals to, for time being let's set it to null. Okay, so for time being I have set this gender to null. For the person, in the person I have set this gender to null. So if I'm getting any gender here, okay, I'll simply this dot gender equals to gender. Okay, so we can use this method to set a gender and then we can access this property directly to see what is a gender. Okay, so let's see that quickly. So let's say for p1 dot set gender, as you can see I'm already getting this set gender, so let's set it to male, or it will be in strings, I apologize for that. Okay, so we have set the gender to male. Fine. Now we can access the gender property which we have created, right? So in person, as you can see, okay, I can show you here itself directly. As you can see, we have age, full name, gender as male. So these properties we can access directly as well. Okay, p1 dot gender, if I do this, I'm getting male. Let's see for p2 gender, I'm getting null because I haven't set anything for the p2 gender, right? So this is how we can access the properties directly, but the best practices are to access them through the methods only. Okay, so then it will not make any sense for writing these methods, right? If you want to set it directly, you can set it. Nothing is stopping you from doing that. Okay, so let me show you. So if you want to set p1 dot gender directly, okay, you can set it. Nothing is stopping you. But the best practices are to set it through the, or like to restrict the user from accessing the methods and properties directly. Take them through the methods to set any properties. Okay, so p1 dot gender, if you see, I'm getting female now, right? Okay, so what I was trying to tell you, gender. Okay, so here let's write a method get gender. Okay, so here what simply we have to do, return this dot gender. Okay, that's it. You don't have to do anything. I'm simply returning what it will do. It will simply check the gender of that particular person and it will simply return it. Okay, so let's see this one as well quickly. So p1 dot get gender, not this, get gender. Okay, so if I'm not passing anything, okay, so it's not returning anything. Get gender, here I'm returning get gender, I think. Okay, so this is because I haven't set anything. That is why it is actually returning, but it is returning null, right? So let's quickly set the gender first. Set gender to male. Now if I use get gender, okay, as you can see, I'm getting male now. Okay, so we have to restrict the user from accessing the properties and methods directly. What we have to do, we simply have to create the functions, or we can say instance methods, or in short methods, which will do the operation and which will return the output or something. And why I am showing you all these instance methods, because we are going to use a lot of instance methods while writing data structures, while creating data structures. That is why it is important to understand how we can create instance methods, how we can access them. Okay, we can write complex logic in the instance method as well, but I don't want to confuse you right now. Okay, my goal is to make everything clear, not to confuse you a little bit more, right? So this is how we can create instance methods, and this is how we can simply use those instance methods, right? So I think, let me just see if I can copy all these things, or even if we can't copy, then that's not an issue at all. So if you guys want, you can take a screenshot of this, okay, and then you can take a screenshot of this one. Okay, so you guys will get the idea, right? So p1 dot get gender, p1 dot set gender, p1 dot get gender, again we are doing that for male, and then I'm expanding it. So if you want, you guys can take a screenshot of this and you are good to go. You just have to write it, you just have to practice it on your own once before we dive into the next lecture, right? So yeah, this is it for today. See you in the next one.